Namaste. Welcome to the lecture series on the subject Applied Thermodynamics, Module 2, Gas Power Cycles. This is lecture number 8. Myself, Dr. N. Satish Kumar, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Canara Engineering College, Bantwal. So this is the last lecture for this Module 2, where we will be discussing the remaining part of the turbojet engines. So there is a ramjet engine. So it is the simplest ramjet engine. So it is the simplest type of all propulsive devices as shown in the figure. The engine consists of a supersonic diffuser, that is section 1 to 2, right? Then subsonic diffuser, that is 2 to 3, and a combustion chamber 3 to 4, and nozzle 4 to 5. The supersonic and subsonic diffusers convert kinetic energy of the entering air into pressure energy, because high velocity air, whichever it is entering into the ramjet engine, so it is converted to pressure energy by supersonic diffuser and the subsonic diffuser. So air is entering from this side, and it is sufficient for combustion. The pressure ratio is known as the ram pressure, so it should be sufficient enough for the combustion of the fuel. Air from the atmosphere enters the engine, where its velocity decreases and pressure increase in the supersonic diffuser. This is the explanation. Air now enters the subsonic diffuser and its pressure is raised further and then goes through the combustion chamber. So this unit here. Air gets heated to a high temperature of about 1500 to 2000 degrees Celsius in the combustion by burning the fuel, and the products of combustion are then allowed to expand in the nozzle, where the pressure energy is converted to kinetic energy. That means high velocity burnt gases are expelled or comes out from the nozzle. The thrust developed due to this is used for the propulsion. As speed increases, the efficiency of the ramjet starts to drop as the air temperature in the inlet increases due to compression. So here, this is one of the drawbacks of the ramjet engine. As the speed increases, the efficiency drops because of the increase in air temperature at the inlet. As the inlet temperature gets closer to the exhaust temperature, less energy can be extracted in the form of thrust. So automatically the thrust gets reduced. Now to produce a usable amount of thrust, even at higher speeds, the ramjet must be modified so that the incoming air is not compressed, in the sense it is not heated. This means that the air flowing through the combustion chamber is moving very fast relative to the engine. In fact, it will be supersonic, as the name supersonic combustion ramjet or scramjet. Ramjets can be particularly useful in applications requiring small and simple mechanism for high-speed use, such as missiles. So that's one of the applications of the ramjet in missiles. Weapon designers are looking to use ramjet technology in artillery shells to give added range. A 120 mm mortar shell, if assisted by ramjet, is thought to be able to attain a range of 35 km. You see, a 120 mm mortar shell, if assisted by the ramjet, so it can give the range of, or it can travel up to 35 kilometers or 22 miles. They have also been used successfully, though not efficiently, as tip jets on the end of the helicopter rotors. Next, coming to the turbofan engine. Turbofan or fan jet is a type of air-breathing jet engine that is widely used in aircraft propulsion. The word turbofan refers to a gas turbine engine which achieves mechanical energy from combustion, and the fan, a ducted fan that uses the mechanical energy from the gas turbine to accelerate air rearwards or from the backside. Thus, whereas all the air taken by the turbojet passes through the turbine after passing through the combustion chamber, so in a turbofan, some of the air bypasses the turbine. So that is very important here. Some air bypasses the turbine. A turbofan thus can be thought of as a turbojet being used to drive a ducted fan, with both those contributing to the thrust. So ducted fan as well as the products of combustion, so they will add to the thrust. The ratio of the mass flow of air bypassing the engine core compared to the mass flow rate of air passing through the core is referred to as bypass ratio. So what is bypassing and what is passing through the engine? So that is called as the bypass ratio. The engine produces thrust through a combination of these two portions working in concert. Engines that use more jet thrust related to the fan thrust are known as low bypass turbofans. You see, if the more thrust is produced by the engine than the fan thrust, so it is called as low bypass. On the other way, those who have considerably more fan thrust than jet thrust are known as the high bypass. So you have two categories of jet engines here. One is low bypass and the high bypass. Most commercial aviation jet engines in use today are the high bypass type. Most modern military fighter engines are the low bypass. So aviation jet engines uses the high bypass type, and the military fighters are the low bypass type. Afterburners are not used on high bypass turbofan engines, but may be used on either low bypass turbofan or turbojet engines. So afterburners can be used only in low bypass turbofan engines. Most of the airflow through the high bypass turbofan is low velocity bypass flow, even when combined with the much higher velocity engine exhaust. The average exhaust velocity is considerably lower than a pure turbojet. Since the efficiency of propulsion is a function of the relative airspeed of the exhaust to the surrounding air, propellers are most efficient for low speed, pure jets are for high speeds, and ducted fans in the middle speed. Okay, so efficient propulsion is a function of the relative airspeed of the exhaust to the surrounding air. So propellers are most efficient for low speed, and pure jets for high speed, and ducted fans are for the average speed. Turbofans are thus most efficient engines in the range of speeds about 500 to 1000 km per hour, the speed at which most commercial aircrafts operate. So turbofans are most efficient for this speed range of 500 to 1000 km per hour. Modern turbofans have either a large single stage fan or a smaller fan with several stages. An early configuration of combined the low pressure turbine and fan in a single rear mounted unit. This is the earlier configuration of combined unit, that is having a low pressure turbine and a fan in a single rear mounted unit. So with this I conclude this module number 2, and we'll continue with our lecture series later. Thank you.